Alrighty, this is a 2001, 2002 Ford Explorer Sport Track. Ford Ranger, Ford Explorer, same thing. Doing a set of brand new brake pads on this guy. Now, I should take the time and actually replace the rotors, but they're not that bad. They're scuffed up a bit from the old pads, which are, well, they've seen their days. So, backyard mechanic, I'm going to wedge a couple of screwdrivers in here between the pads and the rotor. That will give me enough space to pull these caliper pins, and the caliper comes off, the shoes come out, reverse, and just push the caliper piston aside. And I'm working against hydraulic pressure from the anti-lock brake system. I do have the reservoir cap under the hood twisted loose, not completely open, so I keep the air out of the system. This way I can do this whole process without having to crack the lines, re-bleed the system, and make a one-person job a two-person job. Screwdrivers have some slack, and I should have just enough room now to pull these little bolts out. Ironically, these are 1/2-inch bolts on a truck that runs metric, of all things. That was a bit of a surprise. Yes, I did fight with the bolts a little bit earlier and got them loosened before the video started, but who wants to see a crazy North American redneck beat on a screwdriver and a wrench and a hammer for too long? Now this caliper should tip right off, and you'll notice that they're still extended a bit. We'll get to that in a moment. Set the caliper up here so it won't fall off. And you shouldn't be able to pull these pads out that easy. Yeah, see, that one's gone. These are slides, shoe slides, pad slides. And the squealers, which tell you when your brakes are getting thin. See how worn out they are? That's the old one, that's the new one. It's like that. And these squealers are obviously gone. So, take and get this caliper squared away here quick. This is where having a second body comes in handy. Now I'm going to take and twist the C-clamp, which will collapse those pistons. Nice and slow. This is not a race. It is, however, a feat of strength. It's just okay. See how they collapse? Probably have to do one and then the other quick. And give it time. Again, this is all under pressure, so you have to work with it. That one's almost all the way collapsed. And the other one. And yes, they do make a special tool for this, which is just a glorified C-clamp. Does the exact same thing. And they've got fancier ones that are hydraulic, and you pump a lever with one hand and it goes. But if you've got there's a C-clamp that works too. See that piston push all the way back in there? A little bit further to go. That one's good. We'll grab that other one again. Because new pads are fat, and you need all the room you can get. Trying not to snag the brake line. All the way back, baby. Good enough. The hammer can do the rest. Okay. Let's twist our brake line. Back to our... Stay. Stay. Don't fall. Garbage. Since I'm here, this is the only part you grease. See this? That's the old grease. Get rid of that. If there's any grease left in the green. Yep, it's just enough. And that's too much. So we'll take a little bit. There we go. Just a little bit. I wiped the grease down on the jack stand. Okay, got the lower one. Same process. Just a little bit. Like that on the log. New squealers. They're not really called squealers. I believe they're called shoe retainers or something according to the book, but I call them squealers because that's what they do when your pads wear out. These little metal clips make a bunch of noise. Just to make sure it's seated in there. A couple taps. Don't be afraid to use your hammers. Here's the other one. Upwards. Come on. There you go. Pardon my fat head for a bit. Dirt in there. The rotor's just a little bit crusty. Where's my screwdriver? Just sitting there. Just got my knee. New pad. Now these guys are all four of them when you get them, they're all identical. See, there's no left and right. You just kind of, that one goes like so and so. Put the back one in here. And again, don't be afraid to use your hammer. That new retainer clip is bouncing out. Come on, clip in. No, I said it would be 10 minutes, wouldn't it? Of course.
We're at 11:40 so far.
Of course. The other side went just fine. This side being stubborn.
It really sucks is if this turns sideways on the...
Oh, on the video thing?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, let's take the other one. Just in case the castings are goofy.
Every time I get a shot, you move your head in the way.
Of course.
Mommy?
I doubt they want to stare at your head for 12 minutes.
I think I saw something
Hmm.
in the house.
I'm doing a video right now.
Okay.
That was in there. It bounced right out. Why is it being stubborn? I don't know why it's being stubborn. Unless my springs are in the weird spot. Might actually make me trim this side. I don't want to do that. Look at these goofy things in there.
Is that a click?
That's the bottom one. Top one keeps jumping out. Alright, where's the old bed? Oh, should fit. Just
Shoulda, coulda.
The ears are a little fatter on the new ones. If I have to, I'll take it to a grinder and dress them down. But in theory, it should just slip in. Persistence. Where's the other one? Now the camera can actually see what I'm up to with this side. So put it in. Take anything just a little bit in the corner there. And in. and in. See? Kick your caliper. Oh, back on their shield. These here are chatter shields. If you want your brakes to make a bunch of noise all the time, go ahead and take those off. But if you want to stay quiet, and another thing here, see these tags? They line up and down here. So this one needs to rotate. That one should be good now. That's back in place. Put our bolts back in. Yes, I'm using a box wrench. My nephew ran off with my 3/8 socket wrench and hasn't brought it back yet.
Good luck on that one.
Right? And 2, this is a cheap Walmart thing, this wrench. It's probably one of, I don't know, 9 or 10 sets I've got. So when I'm done with it here, I can beat on it. I'm not going to feel bad about it.
And since I work there, I'll just go get more
Right,
and use a discount.
right.
Discounts are nice. Especially on tools.
Mm-hmm.
Do you even have a full socket set anymore?
No, I've got socket sets, but nothing's complete. Not since well, I don't have a garage. So, all right, now everyone who is a wrench turning nut, go ahead and cringe at what I'm about to do here. I don't care. Yes, that's torqued. Eric, the car guy, and South Main Auto, they're all gonna go, "Ah, what are you doing?" I'm like, for those who are astute and highly observant,
Something just bit me.
there is one more project I gotta do to this thing someday. Soon. Camera lady can swing over here where my finger's at. Yes, that is a busted link rod for the anti-sway up front here. Yes, it makes a lot of noise once in a while, especially going up and down bumps.
Yeah, are we
Oh,
gonna
no.
fix it today? Nope.
No, because that's probably a $30 part that, while the parts store does have it, I didn't know it was broke, so I didn't get the part while I was there. And I plowed snow with it, and Clarence has plowed snow with it, and other people have plowed snow with it, and this thing's 350-some thousand miles, so it'll survive. Until I can get to it.
Till you actually use it and need to use it, and then it'll...
Alright, so now we'll throw the wheel on this thing, and that's pretty much it.